Okay. According to the Deseret News, there was a study taken, and the girls from the ages of 6 to 9 were asked a question: would they rather play with a doll dressed in sexy outfit with tight-fitting and revealing, or would they rather play with a doll that wore modest clothes that covered everything, but it was still fashionable? And when they asked the girls from age 6 to 9, most of the girls, they were asked the question, what do they want to look like? In other words, what do they think they look like? Or which doll do they want to play with? And 78% said that they wanted to look like the doll with tight clothing, or they thought they were the girls with tight clothing, and 72% agreed that they would want to play with that doll instead of the other dolls. So, the reason I wanted to tell you this is because times have changed and the way people look at beauty is different, and it's more focused on the physical beauty instead of the inner beauty. So today I want to persuade you that beauty pageants are bad for especially little kids, because that's what they're taught to think, that physical beauty is the main thing. And I know y'all have all seen Honey Boo Boo and Toddlers and Tiaras, and that's kind of what this is like. So I want you to know that if you ever have kids or grandkids, don't put them through beauty pageants, because they're great examples of not to do. And I've even seen their shows, and I agree that they're not good. And so from my research, I can tell you that it's been proven that beauty pageants are not good. So my main points that I want to tell you is how beauty pageants sexualize young children, how they make the focus on superficial things like the appearance, and how over-controlling parents can change the way kids think in a bad way. Okay, so now that you know my 3 points, let's get to the first one. The first one focuses on sexualization of children and how beauty pageants really make kids a lot older than they're supposed to be. Laura Agadani from Demand Media says that ways that, parents sexualize children for beauty pageants is they'll give them fake tans, they'll do spray ads, false teeth to cover up their baby teeth, hair extensions, a bunch of things. Even they'll give them padded bras, to make them look a little bit older. And stuff like this just opens doorways for sexual harassment and more sexual violence, because boys and men look at it too, and child pornography comes big from that. It also allows boys to focus on the more sexual appearance, and that's what they like, and so it just makes it worse, especially for little kids. And that was according to CNN.com. So now that you know my first point, let's get to the second, which is focusing on superficial things. Hillary Levy from the Harvard University Gazette, she decided to do a study on beauty pageants too. And she noticed that the way mothers, like I said, dress their children up and spent hours and hours and hours for the kids to be on stage for like 15 seconds, it didn't focus on inner beauty, it focused on physical beauty, or physical appearance. The focus was definitely not about the brains, and it's also proven that beauty pageants lead to less careers in science and technology and engineering and math, because they don't think it's important. The thing is that's if they win, they're about physical appearance. If they lose their sense of self-worth, because parents kind of want their kids to win because they're good looking, and so if they lose, they feel like their parents don't love them because they didn't win and they don't look good, so that strive to look good becomes really important to them. Okay? That's it for the superficial stuff. Let's move on to overcoming the lengths that parents will go to control their children. The Week is an online magazine, and in it they described this girl screaming as her mom came to her with like hairspray, getting her ready for a beauty pageant. And that just goes to show that the parents have the total control of the 6 through 9-year-olds, or 2 through 12, those categories of girls that do beauty pageants, and they have no option to say no and turn down whether they want to or not, like the parents force it on them. Christina Schnell, she was from Demand Media, she also says that some problems that come from this is self-confidence, and they become indecisive, and they seek guidance from others since their parents are so controlling. They really don't have the option to fend for themselves in the long run. It also can lead to things like depression and anxiety and obsessive compulsive disorder. So in conclusion, I wanted to say that beauty pageants are bad, and altogether, they're just not good, especially not for little children. My three main points were that they sexualize children, that they focus on superficial things, and that it causes problems in the long run because the parents are over-controlling. So I want you to all understand from this point that those superficial and sexual and over-controlling parent things that happen to the kids in beauty pageants, that sticks with them for the long run. And it just goes to show beauty pageants really aren't good for children. Okay? And the last thing I wanted to say is that there's a dietitian named Dr. Cartwright, and she's a doctor, a dietitian, and she met up with these group of women to talk about this upcoming beauty pageant committee, and she just got put on it, and all the women asked her what she did for a living, and she's like, I'm a doctor. And they're like, what? They didn't think it was important. And the one thing that she left there thinking was, looks are fleeting and brains are forever. So don't put your children in beauty pageants.
Well,